Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Kamila Kudelska of Polish Radio English section. And here in studio, I have with me Jowita Bukowińska, the president of the Polish branch of the European Professional Women's Network, and also director of one of the biggest mobile companies, Orange. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
So I thought that maybe we could start with maybe your personal experience about how you thought about the fact that a professional women's network is important and that it's needed in a country like Poland. So first, I wanted to ask you yourself as a professional businesswoman working in Poland, have you experienced any gender discrimination in Poland? And was it difficult for you to get further ahead as a result?
I think, from my personal perspective, actually, I haven't suffered from gender discrimination, but I've noticed that some of my colleagues had some problems and couldn't be promoted because of a gender. Of course, it wasn't never directly stated that it was because of gender, but I think that there are some instances that there are more positions available for men.
Great, okay. And has your personal experience helped you realize the greater need for organizations such as the European Professional Women's Network?
Yes, I think so, because men don't need to. You don't need to tell men that they need to network and they need to collaborate more. But I think that for women, it is important to stress that they own needs are also important. Their professional needs, personal, and such a support in respect of mentoring and other programs are needed for their growth.
Okay. So kind of going into specifics right now, countries such as Germany and France have introduced mandatory quotas, mandating that women be promoted to top positions at corporations. So my question is such thing needed in Poland?
There's a big discussion also in Poland, and I think that very negative environment. I mean, women in Poland don't want quotas. I think that quotas are important in some countries, in some circumstances, and can improve situation of women, at least in a short time. There's some research which show that if we allow natural pace of women advancement, we will wait 50 more years to get equality in respect of women and men, especially at top position. So probably they are needed in some countries, and it's good to have them. But I think that that there are some issues which we should consider instead of imposing quotas. There should be focus on leadership. Okay. First of all, it's not a matter of women and men. We need to have strong leaders. We need to use available talents. If we have women in place which have strong leadership skills, and when they are prepared, when they know what are the goals, I think that we won't need quotas. And there should be also some kind of cultural shift away from boys' club. So if we talk about that, if we say that women also should network and should take care of themselves, I think it'll be better. And also there's also bigger problems such as systematic adaptation. First of all, we have to answer whether we have systems in place which allow flexible hours, parental leave, childcare, etc.
And so you mentioned that specifically in Poland, women are against the mandatory quotas. So could you kind of elaborate why they're against it a little bit more?
Well, I think that they are very educated, and they don't want to be. They don't want to be perceived that they are on board because of the quotas. No one wants
right.
to.
So it's more that women can do it by themselves. They don't need a required quota or so forth.
Yes, and that was the case also in some other countries. In Sweden, when they were called golden skirts because a certain group of women was put on boards in different companies. There was lack of women at that time.
Right. Okay. And is it hard for women in Poland to get on top of corporations and keep that position without the quotas right now? or, just how the situation is currently in Poland?
When you look at the top positions at the board level or supervisory board level, there is around 12 or 13% of women, so especially of big companies. But when you go to small and medium companies, I think that actually more than 30% are women. So I think that it is not impossible to get to the top positions, but there should be some programs in place. And also we should engage men and campaign such as He for She are very good for women and would help them to get to the top positions. Because look, at the top position now, at the moment there are men. So we need men ambassadors. We need their support to get to boards.
Right, and Poland compared to other countries in Europe, let's say, how are we in scale with the positions of women in top positions?
I think we are at the average level for Europe, but again, it depends on statistics, on the research, and there are some. I've seen some research that we are even we are one of the leaders in Europe, but it depends who did the research and which companies were taken into account, etc.
And how do you feel about Poland specifically, about the position of women?
There are many women at managerial and middle managerial level, but the top, there are not that many. At Orange, we have 2 board women members, so our board is actually balanced. So, but in other companies, I know that there are almost men boards.
Okay. And so, compared to other countries, Poland has one of the smallest gender wage gap. But if you look closer, the higher the position, the bigger the wage gap becomes. So in this state, women celebrities have launched a public campaign addressing gender wage gaps. Is this a way that you think Poland could address gender wage gaps, or is there other ways to go about it in your point of view?
It's good that we have such a small gender gap, and we should stop talking and using language of what are the benefits of having women on board. I think that it's better to use the language of benefits. That what is beneficial, I think, it's to have diverse teams, to use different talents, and it's good that there are many networks and there are lots of initiatives going on, because we can work on the language and on communication and leveraging the importance of having balanced leadership.
Right, and so then this brings me to the European Professional Women's Network in Poland, which you're the president of, and as I understand, you started 5 years ago.
Yes.
So the question is, why did you decide to start a section in Poland?
Almost since the beginning of my career, I worked in international environment. So I thought it would be very beneficial if we could have also international organization in Poland, being part of a global federation, and we could share and benefit from best practices and developments which were already invented in other countries. So actually you don't have to invent the wheel, and you start from the different level.
Right, and so what is the goal of the organization in Poland?
The goal is to support professional development of women, but also we put stronger emphasis on leadership skills, on personal development, networking. In general, we want to learn, share, and advance globally.
And so what are the type of programs? How do you advance this? I saw that there was some mentoring and other things.
We have mentoring program. It can be international or with international mentors or with Polish mentors. And we started 4th edition, and it's the benefits of this program are very good. 80% of participants meet their goals. What are their goals? What are the goals? Yes. The goals can be to change the job, but it can be also to have to gain better leadership skills, to manage better the team. Usually, we address the program, and our mentees are members who already have 7-10 years of experience, so they are probably at the managerial position at the moment, and they want to advance to the top level, or they want to change professional career. They want to start their own company, so they meet with mentors. They have this mentoringship relationship, and they meet with mentors and they work around their goals.
Right. And is there anything else that the program offers in Poland besides mentorship?
There are many other programs. The other one is Women on Board. It's a part of international project. We do it with 4 other countries. We've just initiated Women on Board database. You can apply if you meet certain criteria in respect of experience, education, etc., then you can be a part of that international database. You can get access to top positions all over Europe. So Women on Board is one of the initiatives. The other one, and actually we are, it is in 2016, we are really promoting this initiative, is Women in Media. We want to train women. We want to show and introduce them tools and techniques which can enhance their presence in the media, which will enable the public speaking. They can work on their personal branding, etc. So everything which you need to be an expert and in modern media, but also how to present yourself and how to obtain contacts and be and participate in debates, conferences, etc.
Right, and just maybe last question is, what would you say is like a perfect woman who should apply to be part of the European Professional Women's Network in Poland, or like what would their goals be, or so forth, in order to be part of such a program?
We have 2 groups of members. In Warsaw, 80% of women work in companies, small, medium, and large companies, and they are already at managerial level, and they want to progress. They want to develop their careers further. And the second group, 20%, is the ladies who have their own companies and also want to network and want to build relationships with other potential partners. So if you want to develop your career, if you want to advance, of course, in the international environment, it's a good network for you. We operate as a PWN Global. We are in 20 countries, so every member can participate in all events, in all initiatives which are organized in all these cities and countries.
Great, and I actually came up with one more question.
Okay.
What is in the foreseeable future, how do you feel about the position of women in Poland?
I think, and I hope it will increase, and it is, as I said before, it is not the matter which gender and who is better, women or men. It's a matter of bringing the talents and using diverse points of view, diverse experience in management of today's world and companies.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I have here with me in studio Jowita Bukowińska, President of the Polish branch of the European Professional Women's Network and Director of Orange.
Yes.
And I'm Kamila Kudelska for Radio Poland English Section. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.